Hello and welcome, everyone. And thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Using AI Without Breaking the Bid. AI is rapidly becoming part of the bid and proposal landscape, bringing exciting opportunities to improve efficiency and support teams under increasing pressure. At the same time, many organisations are asking important questions around quality, compliance, governance, and where human expertise plays a crucial role. In today's session, we'll explore practical, real-world approaches to using AI in bid and proposal environments, sharing examples, some lessons learned, and guidance on how to introduce AI effectively without compromising quality or credibility. So let's jump in and meet our panel. First of all, I would like to introduce nFold. nFold is a win performance advisory, helping organisations improve how they pursue, position, and win work across tenders, proposals, and strategic pitches. nFold has strengthened performance through three connected levers: WinWorks, where we help business development and sales teams qualify, position, and execute the tenders, bids, and proposals that really matter. Through Creative Edge, we design for impact and help organizations turn complex messages into clear, compelling sales and proposal collateral. And through Bid Mastery, where nFold build the professional bid capability teams needed to compete with confidence. As Africa's only APMP accredited training organisation, nFold combine globally recognised standards with real-world bid and commercial experience. So, introducing Izane from nFold, I'm delighted to have you on the panel today.
Good morning, Shanice. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. And I would also like to introduce Dheshnee, who is the WinWorks executive at nFold. Thank you for joining us on the panel today.
Good morning, Shanice. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you on the panel, and I can't wait to hear your answers to the questions. And moving on to our third panelist today is Maryke Otto from APMP Sub-Saharan Africa chapter as our chairperson. So as you can see, there is a map below where we're just going to introduce each area that the panelists look after. So handing over to Maryke.
Hello, everyone. I'm particularly looking forward to hearing everybody's views on how you use AI in your day-to-day profession today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining our panel as well today. And last but not least, I'd like to introduce Ahmad from Shipley, MENA. Ahmad is the Managing Director and founder of Shipley, MENA. Ahmad, would you like to explain which areas you look after as well?
Thank you, Shanice, and good morning. Hi, everyone. We are representing the Arabic countries, including countries in the Middle East, North Africa, and specifically are focusing about the people who speak Arabic, and they are dealing with the Arabic proposals. And we are happy to have this webinar actually in order to support you and to support the professional using AI in the bid and proposal.
Wonderful, thank you. And Maryke, can I just call you back in to show what areas you cover as well?
So we cover the Middle East and Sub-Saharan Africa.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And we are going to jump straight in. We're not going to keep you waiting. So can we take the first question, please? Oh, sorry, I definitely got that wrong. A poll is going to appear on your screen right now. We want to know, before we jump into the questions, how you are currently using AI in your bid or proposal activities. So a poll is going to pop up, and if you could enter, you should see the results moving around on the screen as you enter. What we are going to do is I'm just going to work my way around the panel and discuss some of your answers. So when they start coming through, we will discuss those. But is there any comments about how organisations are using AI in bids and proposal activities that the panel are seeing at the moment while we wait for those votes to come in? Izane?
Definitely not the same way we started using AI 3, 4, 5 years ago. I'm sure everyone around the table would say we all started with very simple prompts, and the way we've developed agents these days to help with bidding vastly different.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we can see that from some of the votes here. Sorry, while we were waiting for that to appear on the screen. Maryke, do you want to show some comments here about what you're seeing on the screen? Is this what you expected?
Yeah, it's definitely what I expected. Occasionally, it seems to be kind of the thing. I think everybody is still exploring and trying to understand where the benefits and where the impact is of using AI in the day-to-day lives.
Absolutely. So there's a variation here. We can see a lot of people are using AI quite frequently, but we do have some people in the audience that aren't really using AI. So we hope that the answers that you get from our wonderful panelists today will help you get experimenting and doing this in a way that is sustainable for your bids. Izane?
I honestly expected the answers to be different. I expected the regularly to be the highest.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And we can see occasionally is actually voting at the top here. So does that surprise any of the other panelists?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. I would also have thought they'd be using it more regularly, whether wrong or right. They would definitely be using it more to try and experiment and explore, save themselves time. So yeah, also just very interested to understand the occasionally, right?
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into our questions now. There will be another poll that will come up in the screen later on in the show. So thank you for voting, and we're going to jump straight into our questions now. So if everyone is using AI, how do you ensure your bid still stands out out to the evaluator? Dheshnee.
Sure. So, I mean, if everyone is using AI, right, then it's no longer the differentiator. Yeah. So I think the advantage isn't AI anymore. I think judgment is. And I think that the bids that stand out are the ones that are most relevant, the ones that are most tailored, definitely not automated, right? And the ones that are most aligned to what the evaluator actually cares about. So a standout bid is still, in my opinion, sharp customer insight, a clear win strategy, strong solutioning, and definitely persuasive writing that speaks directly to the evaluator's priorities. Because yes, AI helps us work faster, it helps us structure the content, get to our first draft quicker, but it cannot replace the thinking that makes a response truly compelling. Because in the end, bids stand out when they do feel specific, when they are strategic, and when there's evidence-based in a proposal document, right? So in my experience, I think it needs to be specific, and AI can produce that polished wording, but the evaluators notice when a response, could have been written for anyone. So those specifics are important, and strong bids reflect that, the client's context, their desired outcomes, their pain points. And those items are often is what you need to read between the lines. You can't get that out of the ether. It comes through from customer relationships, right? Absolutely. And AI is definitely fast, but we do need to understand that, we need to know from a human perspective what those strong win themes are, what proof points actually matter to the customer. And that's how we are able to position ourselves over the competitor. So AI can help write the bid, but I think only the insight can help you win it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Izane?
So for the bid to stand out, you must make sure that your bid actually has a point of view. It must not, like Dheshnee said, just be polished words and pretty writing. And that's where AI often lacks. It does produce nice and polished structure, professional. But if your strategy is weak, and if you don't articulate the value to the client very specifically, you are not making a difference with your bid. I feel that is where AI and human intelligence have not met yet. Because we are, as humans, understand the problem better than AI can. AI only recognizes the patterns in the language. We understand the subtext. We understand the human impact, because we're not just writing for a company, we're writing to solve a specific person in the company's problem. So we know where the risk sits, and we can create that value. If your AI-produced bid response doesn't do this, then you are really just polishing something that still stinks.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Maryke?
Well, not to repeat what everybody said, Shanice, but AI can help with good wording, but good wording on its own is not good enough to win a bid. For me, it is the people that needs to add the meaning and the authenticity to stand out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Ahmad?
Yeah, all of the things that you said is correct, but I believe the AI, if it is powered by a good strategy, a good input from customers or from the account managers, it will be great. But actually, we are forgetting this item, because we are telling the AI to write the content. But what is writing? Okay, sometimes we don't have these capabilities. Something writing something we don't have. Okay, what I would like to say here, okay, a good strategy shouldn't be replaced by AI. The human should be engaged with the client, okay, to understand their issues, to understand their pains, so we are able to write the content. AI can help us in the content, okay, can give us a very nice words, but at the end, okay, we need to sell something that the customer needs, and sometimes AI cannot do it.
Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, panelists. Phenomenal answers. If we could take the next question, please. Has AI actually improved win rates, or has it simply made teams produce proposals faster? Maryke?
So for me, AI is definitely, in my opinion, helped teams improve the speed of putting the responses together. But I don't believe necessarily it has increased our win rates. If I can just recall quickly the Lupio benchmark report from 2026, it showed us that 79% of people are using AI in the bid responses, and the bid response submissions has increased by 9%. The average hours that it takes to put together a response is 33, which is just 2 hours less than last year. And the win rate is at about 39%, which doesn't show that the win rate has necessarily improved. So it all depends on what people do with the time that they saved. As our panelists have mentioned, the time that you save, you need to focus on the strategy. You need to focus on making it more client-centric. And that is the differentiator that will increase the win rate.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Izane?
Funnily enough, I was also thinking about the Lupio report, but I think the problem here is I don't think that it's improved win rates. It has made things faster, but it doesn't help that you're automating the wrong things and you get the wrong responses, but just faster. You've just speed up the conveyor belt. You've not improved your bid function. And I think it is because still today we are not leveraging AI properly, and maybe because we don't know how to really get the best out of it. But I think there's still room for improvement. So, you know what? If AI is actually creating customer value, I would say, yes, it has also improved win rate, but I don't think it is doing that yet. It is making our internal processes move faster. So we are just moving faster, not necessarily improving what we're doing. And it's a very generic statement. Of course, it's not true across everyone. It's, let's call it in average or on average.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Ahmad?
Thank you. What I believe that the win rate only will be increased if we are capturing the requirement of the client. Very straightforward. Writing the content via the AI could help us in doing things faster. But we need to focus on one thing, that the risk will be increased, because sometimes we don't review the content. Sometimes things happen that we are sending something we don't have, okay? Or maybe something by mistake or by it will be inserted in the proposal in a wrong way. So again, we are submitting more proposals, but the win rate, as far as I know from my clients, from the region that I have, okay, we have more in the disqualification because of the AI. So I believe that the win rate will be increased only if we capture the strategy in the right way and if we understand the client more and more. And this will never be done in the AI.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much. Just highlighting the importance of having that human in the loop at all times is so important. So thank you so much, panelists. We're going to move on to our next question. But before we do so, we are going to get the report into the chat as well. So we'll just send that over in the chats shortly. Is the next question is your proposal content library ready for AI, or are organizations simply automating poor content? A fantastic question. And we'll start with Dheshnee first.
Thanks, Shanice. I'm going to try and be a little bit controversial here, but I think that for many organizations, AI is not fixing the content library. I think it's exposing it. Because if your source content is a mess, then AI just gives you a shinier, faster mess, really. So we've got to ensure that our content libraries are tagged and curated and, maintained for AI to be relevant.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Maryke?
100%. It's such a super important question and not at all controversial, Desh. As Izane mentioned, AI can help us move faster, but not necessarily smarter. And that takes us back to the content. Before organizations start thinking about automation, it is very important to go and look at your content libraries and your data sources, because as the saying goes, rubbish in, rubbish out, right? If the content it links to is not good enough, then we say we don't trust AI. But is it really the AI, or is it the content that it has produced the output? So I think it is super, super important that we focus on content first and then focus on the automation thereof.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Izane?
So absolutely, a lot of proposal libraries are not libraries. They're museums with just a bunch of old information. But you know what? A content library, a good content library, does more than just state what do we do, where's our certificates, where's our write-ups. It also has content about value. So I think a lot of the times we stop short of solution write-ups and statutory and compliance, but we should go that step further and already write some reusable value statements and win themes that can be used in different situations. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Ahmad?
What I believe that it is not about putting a lot of proposals in the library and should put the AI and oops, we are going to generate a lot of shiny proposals. We need to go back to see the content. And the most important thing that professionals should understand that every opportunity, every customer has a unique win themes, issues, pain. Even if we are dealing with the same opportunity, it is not necessary that we are creating the same proposal. So what I believe, we should go back to the content first, okay? We create the content and then we are ready for the AI. Not just install this software and oops, have a good proposal library and we are going to replace all of the people in the bid management team. So it is not like this.
Absolutely. Izane?
We've got a colleague, a friend, Chris Kalin from CSK Consulting, and he always says, a fool with a tool is still just a fool. And it's the same with AI. If you use it badly, you're not going to get great results.
Absolutely. That's so true. And I think it's so important as well, with the time that we do save with AI, we should, as humans, be going back and checking previous work that we are putting into AI to ensure that that is relevant for the now, especially if it's been in there for a long time. It's really, anytime we can save with AI, we should be investing back into our human skills. So, Izane?
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Absolutely fine. Let's take the next question, please. Where does AI add the most value in the bid life cycle, and where does it add the least? We'll go to Maryke first and then Dheshnee.
Shanice, as we mentioned with the content library, the reusable content, right? If you have good reusable content, AI can help us to quickly summarize that information. So that's where it adds the value. Go and pull that information within the RFPs, do a quick analysis, extracting and highlighting the key requirements. But where it adds the least value is, as we mentioned a couple of times, the human judgment, right? Where is that strategy, the plan, what really matters to the client? And as I've mentioned, the authenticity, really understanding the client and showing, building that trust, showing what do you understand they are looking for. That is where it adds the least value. That's where you need the human judgment. So it can help with the mundane admin tasks, save time there, but not the human element.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Dheshnee?
Yeah, so I definitely think this is a really, really great question, right? To start to learn how AI actually works and the patterns, right? And where to use it most and where not to use it. But I think, like Maryke said, rightly so, the value is in the research, getting to your first draft quicker, summarizing, long-winded content to restructure that so it's more persuasive. But I think the least value, of course, is in the actual thinking that's required. And the biggest risk, so the thinking is on the strategy and the positioning and the judgment side, like we spoke about. But the biggest risk for me which for me is a lost skill, is actually helping us read the room. AI can't do that. Human oversight needs to do that. And the risk is that, we use it to read the room or think we can use it to read the room. It can't.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Ahmad?
Yeah, the AI can help a lot in the summary of the RFP itself. I've been told that a lot of success stories that yes, we can do the summary of the proposal of the RFP in the beginning. It helps us in the proposal planning, scheduling, all of this stuff. But again, this is the biggest mistake where companies started to implement AI. Okay, you can do a lot of administration part using AI. Okay, but we need to be careful about the content generated by AI. The AI will help us in the compliance. It will make sure that we are not forgetting anything in the proposal. In the proposal, we are complying between the RFP and the proposal. It will be great, okay, and it will help us too much. And it is very fast, by the way. But the most important thing, okay, the customer relationship. It doesn't tell you about how much you are close with the client, how much you are good in shaping the issues and pain. And this is what we think that we lack in the AI. But the AI in the proposal planning phase, as part of the APMP lifecycle, it is great, and we can utilize it, and we can depend on it as part of our proposal team.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Izane?
So I believe that AI can be useful in all of the business development lifecycle stages that, according to APMP, more in some and less in others, but actually in all of them. And of course, it will depend on how well you use it. I mean, it can shred an RFP and it can help you start a baseline compliance matrix. It can take subject matter expert write-ups and actually put it into something that resembles English. But, and we've all said it, where judgment is concerned, you cannot rely on AI. So you should not trust it to decide whether you bid or not bid. It can give an indication. You can't decide your win strategy. It can help, but it can't make that final decision because it doesn't know what the customer really wants. And it should never make pricing and solution or legal decisions for you without the human oversight. So all the life cycle stages, but not in the same way, and you shouldn't trust it to the same extent in those life cycle stages.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Ahmad, do you want to jump in here?
Yeah, I would like to add to Izane what you're saying. Yes, I totally agree with you that the AI should be implemented in all stages of business development. But I believe that we need to have like a meeting that the account manager will be there, the capture manager will be there, the bid manager will be there. At the end, we as a human can take decisions, not the AI. Not the AI can take decision on behalf of us. So I believe what you said is great, is fantastic. But the most important thing that the decision makers from our side as a bidder should be available to review the content of AI. Otherwise,
100% agreed.
We cannot control it. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, panelists. Incredible answers. We're going to move on to our next question shortly. So how do we strike the right balance between AI efficiency and human judgment? We'll go to Maryke first.
So Shanice, it's kind of an add-on to the previous question. To strike the right balance between AI and the human judgment. AI should, as we said, it's fast. It cannot make the decisions, but it can help us make decisions faster, right? Because it's done the research. For example, it touched on the qualification or decision making. It can give you all the information and the evidence that you need to make the decision. So still use AI to get to the quick view of the decisions that you need to make. But you as the human at the end of the day need to make that judgment call and make that decision. So the balance is still, again, using AI for faster outputs, but leaving it to human to make the final decision.
Fantastic. I think that's some great advice there. So thank you so much for sharing that with us in the panel. Ahmad?
Yeah, I would like to add a funny story happened with me personally. And I remember one time I asked the AI, the Copilot, it's all the same concept. Okay, I put a document and I asked the AI to generate 50 questions. So suddenly I got the 50 questions. Then I figured out that it is a repeated question from 12 to 50 questions. So I thought that, oops, this is a problem. We need to be careful about the content. We need to be cautious after reviewing. And I believe that we should work with APMP, with Shipley, with everyone. We need to add this additional review for the content created by AI. So I believe the human should be there in all stages. And that's the most important thing that we need to implement in our business development lifecycle areas.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. And thank you so much, panelists. Fantastic answers. And we are going to head over to you now, audience. So we're going to put a poll on the screen and we will be asking your opinions on this question. So if you just bear with us 2 seconds, we're going to launch that and we should see it on the screen as you answer. Wonderful. So what concerns you the most about using AI in bids and proposals? We can see them all moving around. So I don't know if the panelists want to share some of their concerns that they've experienced in their own careers and their own bids and their own proposals or some of their clients. Izane, thank you. Jump ahead.
So definitely the generic type of content. It's fluffy. I actually fall asleep when I read some of the answers because it is so obvious that it is a pretty sentence, it's well constructed, but it doesn't make sense.
Absolutely.
So it could apply to any industry, any customer, any solution. There's no value add, there's no customer focus. So between generic and the hallucination, I think those are the two biggest challenges.
Absolutely. I think as humans, we are noticing the difference between originally organic human content that's been made and AI. It's a bit like when piracy videos came out. Everyone knew what a piracy video was when you saw it, right?
Yeah. And signs.
Absolutely. And we built in that filter so that we know what is good quality and what is the lesser quality. Maryke, do you want to share some experience here?
I think as Izane mentioned, but when you can quickly, very easily, I think we all feel like we become experts in spotting the AI written opportunities. Sometimes it uses too fancy words, right? Where nobody speaks that kind of English. And you can spot it that it doesn't even make sense. You're struggling to read what it was trying to say. And that's where you can quickly see that the human, it loses trust with the client, right? Because you can see the human did not put any thought into it, and that is the kind of service you are going to get from your provider, then why bother? You need somebody as a customer that you can trust, that's authentic. So you can very quickly spot the AI, so it's very generic. Or if it has linked to the incorrect content or you have put in a bad prompt, it is going to hallucinate. Like Izane mentioned, it can cover most of the life cycle of the APMP business development. But where you go further down the process and the information in the beginning was wrong or not validated, the further down the line you go, the more inaccurate and the more it's going to hallucinate. So it looks like a pretty well-drafted answer, but it might not be because it hasn't been validated and checked by the human.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you, audience, for sharing your answers with us. We are going to take another question. So this one has come in as a live question. Ronald Prestwood has asked, what AI systems are used to support processes? Who would like to answer first? Maryke, thank you.
So Ronald, thank you. Great question. For me, it's not about what tool or system you use. It is about how you design the tool and the system that you are using, because there is on this planet no tool that fits all. There's no tool that covers everything. I wish there was. It's kind of the utopia world we're looking for, right? But I think the important part is the system and the tool that you are using. Yes, you might pay money for a proposal automation tool. You first need to understand what problems you are trying to solve and where do you want to improve your efficiency in your organization. Once you have that answer, then you can decide what tool and system will fit and suit you, your organization and your needs best. It's kind of similar to the customer, right? What are our needs, requirements, and let's make sure we address that, not just throw the whole kitchen sink at this is the tool. And I think the most important part, and I cannot stress this enough, is about good prompting. Whether you want to call it you're building an agent or whether you want to call it anything smarter than that, it comes down to good prompting. And when you do good prompting and you challenge your prompting, you can't just ask a prompt for AI and expect it to give you a perfect answer. You need to apply some judgment, as we've been saying, and challenge it and say, well, why this and what does that mean? And the so what question all the time for the customer. So Ronald, in closing, my response is there is no one system that fits all. There are many out there, but you need to choose what fits your needs the best, and then good prompting.
Absolutely. I love that, being curious about challenging your AI. That's definitely something I'm going to take away from today. Thank you so much, Maryke. Ahmad?
Yeah, I would like to add to what Maryke said. Okay, a good process depends on the content, process, and the people. Okay, so you cannot create a process without knowing or assessing your content. Actually, what are you using in the proposal? And even you don't know the capabilities of the team that you have. Okay, you can create good content in the process, but how to validate the content is right or not? Okay, this is the most challenging one. And the second one, each company is different than other one, even if they are dealing with the same customer, with the same environment, the same industry. But again, we are based on what the customer wants. Okay, so the process will be different from time to time, from organization to another organization. So I believe that, as Maryke said, good prompt will help you to design a good process, but you need to assess people, content, then to be able to produce a good process.
Fantastic, thank you. Dheshnee?
Sorry, I just have something to add. So when you are looking at AI tools as well, just look at your process and make sure you understand where you need the most help. Maybe it could be in the post-bid review part of the process. Maybe it could be in your qualification, part of the process. But it also just depends on where you want to strengthen your process, because then you could possibly look at a tool that strengthens that specific part of the process that will get you the quickest results, so that you can start leveraging off that content and using it to get better at your bids. Thanks, Shanice.
Thank you so much. Maryke?
Thanks, Shanice. If I can just summarize it, it's basically looking at your people, tools, and process and understanding your organization where the gaps are. Once you've identified that gaps, then you can find a tool that's fit for purpose.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And Ronald, I hope those answers have been helpful to you. So can we take the next question, please? This one has come in from Larissa. AI usage and proposal automation in Africa based on the APMP/nFold RFP trends report that compared to APMP Lupio report is still very far behind the rest of the world. We are also delivering the same volume with much smaller teams. I assume this may be the case for the MENA. Who would like to answer that? It's quite a long question, so we might need to give our panelists a moment to think about it.
I think Ahmad needs to answer that one.
Actually, I'm still reading the question because
absolutely.
I have small. Okay, the proposal automation again. As I said, it's different from organization to another organization. But I believe that one of the biggest mistakes that the people are doing, maybe in the MENA region or maybe outside, that, for example, the headquarter is doing the proposal automation. Okay, they don't care about the culture. Okay, they don't care about the customization of the market. Okay, I've faced a lot of let's say challenges in delivering a proposal, even for the same country. Why? Because the client terms and conditions, special terms and conditions, will play a major role in this area. So again, the automation should be flexible. Okay, should be expanded to the to fit the challenges that can face in any RFP or any client issues. So the MENA market is different because it is not about one country, two countries. It's like the South Africa, it's one country, but the Arabic countries is full of challenges, let's say, and we have multiple sectors, so we need to invest more and more. I'm talking about Shipley, about APMP, about APMG. We need to invest more and more in order to standardize the automation tools, so we are in a good shape that we can depend somehow on the AI, on AI.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to our next question. So this has come in from Gwendolyn. Do you think evaluators are already able to recognize AI-generated proposals? We'll go to Izane first.
I definitely think so. And talking to our counterparts in the procurement side, there's a lot more being built in AI procurement tools and gates and recognition being built in on the procurement side as well. So it's not just on the bidder side anymore. I wouldn't say all evaluators are able to do that, but I would definitely say for the most, they can recognize generic AI written stuff.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Maryke.
The irony here is that, of course, there are tools out there, schools have built it, and some evaluators have built tools using AI to spot the AI. So, of course. So there are tools out there that you can build and develop, and I would make this suggestion and recommend that you build yourself a good prompt before you submit your proposal. Test it and ask it, does it seem like it was generated by AI before you submit it to the evaluator? Test yourself. Like I said, Shanice, reason and debate with yourself, right? And put it out there and make sure that it doesn't read that it was written by AI and it has more of a human element and a human feel to it. Because there are tools out there that can scan it to detect if it was generated by AI. And I want to tell just a quick story. We had an individual in our organization that has been an expert, subject matter expert in technical and solutions for years and years and years. And he has written his response that actually the tool picked up to say it was written by AI, but it wasn't. It was actually because he was such a subject matter expert and had the experience that he could write that well. So sometimes it might count against you. But the point is just that, yes, there are tools out there, so be careful. Evaluators can spot it. If they can't do it themselves, they use tools to do so.
Fantastic. Thanks for that advice as well. Ahmad?
Now, I would like to add something. When you are submitting a proposal, don't forget that other companies or other persons are submitting the same proposal, okay, are actually the same solution. So we need to think that, or need to believe that the client is smart, or he has an IT tool to determine what is wrong, what's right, and he would like to solve the issues. So I believe that they should invest in tools to detect AI written content or not. And I believe that many organizations, many government entities here in the Middle East are implementing anti-AI. Okay, so they would like to validate, do you have this capability, in fact, or just AI has the capabilities? So at the end, okay, I'm looking for someone to help my problems. AI will not do that. So I believe that every customer should implement an AI checker just to help the fact that we need to solve the problems for our clients.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, panel. We're going to take the next question now. So this is coming from Credo. Does AI have the capability to analyze and segment user input in ways that help organizations understand and derive value from user skill sets? Izane, we'll come to you first.
Okay. So just a comment I want to make on the way we use the word AI. I mean, AI is the overarching technology. I think we are actually talking about large language models like Claude and ChatGPT, etc. We're not talking about full-scale AI that can do incredible things. So even the large language models can identify, let me answer your question, can identify, analyze, and segment user input, provided you're giving it the right instructions, the right prompting, the right context, and you tell it how you want it. So you sort of need to treat AI as an enthusiastic junior. They're useful, they're fast, but you can't necessarily leave them unsupervised because you're going to get into commercial trouble there. So it can do it, but it depends on how well you instruct it and train it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Dheshnee?
Yeah, so I think definitely if you think about CVs and profiles, performance data, all of those things, right? It can definitely identify patterns that humans might miss or take much longer to find, right? So I think to answer this question, really can help organizations spot those strengths and capabilities across the teams. Definitely can help group people by skill sets, experience. It can match people to roles, projects, or training, right? Personal development plans, all of those things. So instead of just seeing the title, it can help an organization see, how it could maximize its stakeholder management, the leadership potential, those type of things. So it can help you make better decisions about people, development, deployment, growth, how to use those CVs in your bid submission. So definitely, I think it absolutely can do that. Of course, like Izane said, with human oversight, care around the bias, privacy and interpretation, of course.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I think thinking of your AI as a junior is the exact way we should be looking at it. So thank you for sharing that. Can we take the next question, please? This is coming from Amber. As AI continues to automate administrative and content development tasks, what skills should bid and proposal professionals develop now to remain valuable over the coming years? We'll go with Maryke first.
So the key skill for me for bid professionals is prompting, as I mentioned again, because you have the expertise and you are the subject matter expert understanding best practices. So the better you ask the question to AI and the better prompting you have, experience that you have, the better outcomes and the better output you will get. So again, I don't believe that it will ever be replaced by our profession, because you still need that human, as we've mentioned all along, not only to understand the questions. And I want to use this quick analogy as we all like food, right? So you need a brilliant sous chef. They do all the prep work, they do all the cutting up, and they can help you speed things up. But at the end of the day, you still need that head chef to choose the recipes, to taste the food, and to make sure that the food that goes out to the customer is good enough to serve them. what we have been saying all along. You still will always need that head chef as the human judgment.
Oh, I love that analogy. Thank you so much. Ahmad?
Yeah, what I believe that the skills that we are teaching the people how to be a good in a proposal and bid professionals in the age of AI is how to validate things. Okay, if you have a pain from the customer, if you have an issue with the customers, how to validate the content created by AI are matching with these issues or pains. So I believe that with the expertise, with the knowledge that we have in order to validate things, okay, then we are training the AI and we are adding value to our proposal, to our organization, and differentiate ourselves from competition.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Izane?
So, Maryke, I don't believe it's prompting alone, because prompting, yes, it matters. But if it's your only AI skill, then you're really becoming very good at giving instructions to a toaster. It's still just a mechanism. So I think that the highest performing teams are the ones who have learned how to think. And that's probably the one skill that AI is taking away from us the most, is the ability to think, how to ask better questions, when to ask what question, how to spot a weak response and to challenge it. So I think that the skills will be for someone to say, yeah, that sounds good, but not true enough, or it's polished, but it's not persuasive. It's compliant, but it's not competitive. So that ability to think, I think, is probably one of the future skill sets that if we as proposal managers, or as humans at large, don't keep on developing, we are not going to win the race against the robots. So it's more than just prompting, in my opinion.
Fantastic. Maryke?
Yeah, Izane, I agree 100%. As I mentioned, it's the prompting is one side, but that critical thinking and using your best practice experience, right? Because as we say, we are the subject matter experts in this profession. So those things all together will be the winning recipe. 100% agree with you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to our next questions because they're stacking up. So this is coming from Paul. We are hearing a lot from the panel about managing risk associated with the use of AI, and a lot on using generative AI to accelerate bid creation. What insight or experience do the panel have in leveraging agentic AI solutions to aid acceleration through process automation while still retaining the human in the loop at critical junctions? Oh,
a tough one.
That's a long question. Even to say it was quite long. So we'll give our panel a minute to think. Ahmad, come in and answer the question.
Okay, I can answer somehow with the question, but I believe that when the AI created the content, you are talking about a huge amount of content. So I'm talking about 100, sometimes 100 pages. So we need to go deep and to see what are the risks associated with this content. Okay, I figured out. It happened with me one time. Okay, I put the RFP and I put strategy and I put everything to the agent, and I told the AI to create a proposal. Okay, then it gives me a very fancy proposal. So I was started to ask a question: are we delivering this? Yes or no? I don't have this capability. How we are going to say this to the customer if he or she ask us to deliver a technical presentation, for example? Where's this capability coming from? So we need to be careful. Okay, the most important thing, the AI will help us take decisions, but it will not take a decision on behalf of us. This is the most important thing that we need to learn from AI. It will support us, not to take our jobs or our roles from us.
Fantastic. Izane?
I just want to actually explain the difference between general or normal AI prompting and agentic, because I'm not sure that everybody understands what agentic means. So an agentic AI is when you give it a goal and it breaks it up into different steps to get there. For example, it's an agent. So you can tell it, monitor the inbox, identify new RFPs, extract the deadlines. You can give it different tasks to do in a certain sequence. Whereas your generative AI is just a single prompt. So I think the person who asked the question here is saying, we've gone beyond just single prompting. We are now using generative AI. We're using agents to do a lot more. And what has our experience been in that? No, quite honest, my experience in agentic AI far less than in generative AI, because that is the next thing we need to do. But the same answer goes for a lot of the questions we've had so far. If your process, your handwritten process, isn't correct, it doesn't matter what process you put in place using AI, it's still going to give you the wrong information.
Absolutely. I think that's a fantastic answer. Thank you so much for sharing that. Maryke?
So for me, agentic AI, and I agree with Izane, there is a difference. So when you move to the next step is where agentic AI can help you with the workflows, right? With how you assign the task, how you track the inputs. But ultimately, the decision still lies with the human, where you need to focus on the strategy. So for me, it's more the workflows, assigning the tasks, tracking it, where are the gaps, and identifying those. That's where I believe agentic AI can.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We're going to try and squeeze another question in. So we've had another live question from Risha. What best practices, policies and controls should organizations implement to prevent confidential information from being exposed or misused through AI platforms? Dheshnee?
Sure. So I'd like to take this one, and that's a very, very good question. And I think there's a lot of things that we can do. There's like a whole workflow we can create, right? Like making sure that legal and vendor checks are in place, training people on specific do's and don'ts, review the outputs before they leave the business. But I think my simple version would be approved tools only, no confidential or regulated data in public AI tools, minimum necessary data, redact that data. And then I think human review always, right? And log and monitor that usage, because just because you can paste AI into AI or, content into AI, it doesn't mean that you should.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a really important thing that we need to learn when working with AI. So thank you for sharing that. So I think we have had enough time for questions today. There are still quite a few. So what we'll do is we'll work with the panelists to get some of those answers out to you. So I'm going to ask our final question. What are the advantages of joining a local APMP chapter, and how do membership organizations like APMP support their members? Dheshnee.
Okay, so I think, AI is brilliant, right? But let's be honest, it still needs grown-ups in the room. So the future of bidding is really not human versus AI. It's human using AI well. So in order to stay curious and stay responsible and keep raising the bar on what good looks like, you've got to join a professional organization like APMP, because if you're all figuring out this together, right, we might as well do it with the people who actually care about winning better business. And what a local APMP chapter gives you is that it reminds you that you're not doing the work alone, but it gives you people in your own market, right, to learn from, to grow with, and to lean on. And APMP more broadly gives you the tools and the training, the certification, and that community to keep sharpening your craft. So it's not just about membership. It's about joining an organization and finding your professional tribe, for me.
Absolutely. And I always say learning is always better done when it's with other people. So thank you so much. Ahmad, if you'd like to answer this question.
Yeah, I will answer this question based on the APMP MENA chapter. Since I founded this chapter back in 2019, I know it's 7 years from now, but the message was clear. Okay, we are here to help you. Okay, in any challenges that you may face. The AI can help you a lot. Maybe you will find a lot of answers from the from the AI and the internet, or from the AI tools. But the most important thing, we're talking about the best practice, we're talking about the industry, we're talking about being interfacing with the client. This is things that we are delivering in doing the membership with the AI. We are here to support you gaining the certification. What does it mean? You are stepping forward, dealing with challenges, with complex projects. So that's why we are doing this with APMP. And by the way, APMP is doing a great formulating the micro certification, the body of knowledge. We are seeing a very fast association, and we are proud to support people gaining certification in APMP, which is micro certification or in the foundation level, practitioner, professional level. And we are seeing a lot of values being certified and being members in the APMP MENA chapter. We look forward to support you, all of you, in winning the business. And this is the main message that we are willing to tell our professionals. We are here to support you, to help you to face the challenges that you face.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Maryke, if you'd like to finish us off on this question.
Thank you, Shanice. For me, the APMP chapter is really like, you can look at it as your professional home, right? You can use AI to get an answer very quickly, but nothing is fun when you do it alone, right? And APMP provides you that platform where you connect with a community. You can network with people, you can share lessons learned with the webinars, the certifications, but it's a place where you can share your knowledge and you can learn from each other. And it's real life practical experience. It's not just some theory that sits in a book somewhere. It's really people sharing practical examples and telling some, as we want to call it, war stories, right? Where you have overcome and where you have won it. So I think really for me, the APMP shares and there's standards and there's best practice, but it is about connecting with the community. So everything starts with a conversation. So if you don't want to do this alone, and sometimes you feel like you are sitting in the back and it's a very lonely place out there. I'm sure you've all been there. It feels very lonely sometimes. You are not alone. APMP chapter is there to help and support you and to connect and grow your community. So it starts with a conversation. Look at the QR code and just reach out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And Izane, would you like to say any last comments at all for the panel before we go to the next
They've said everything. It is your tribe. It is your home. You are amongst people like you.
Yeah.
So join your APMP chapter.
Wonderful.
As they say, Shanice, as they say, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Absolutely. You stole the words right out of my mouth. I'd like to thank all of our panelists today for sharing this incredible insight. And don't forget, we will be bringing more webinars on this topic. So what we'll do is we'll make sure you've got a secure seat for the next webinar. And thank you to all of you for attending. We look forward to inviting you to the next one. So we are going to move over to our next events that are coming up. We'll have a few events coming up via Zoom. So head over to our Zoom hub to register. On the 29th of July, we'll be focusing on critical steps to safeguard digital assets. And then on the 26th of August, we'll be finishing up with our operational resilience series, designing a future-proof enterprise for long-term strength. And then on the 21st to the 23rd of September, we will be at the World BRM Connect conference in Denver. So if you're there, we'll look forward to meeting you. And thank you so much. Remember to like and subscribe on our social channels and our YouTube. And we can't wait to see you at the next event. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.